Are you that person who knows a bit of English grammar, understands spoken English, and has an adequate amount of vocabulary, but somehow can't seem to articulate ideas in a more relaxed and coherent way? Do you sometimes feel uncertain or hesitant expressing your opinion in a way that people pause and pay attention to you and listen to what you have to say? Do you sometimes feel stuck in your English learning progress and can't seem to finally cross that barrier to speaking more confidently and fluently? Well, the good news is that you can get rid of those uncertainties and fears and start speaking fluently using the techniques that I'm going to share with you today. And how do I know that? Because I've been there. I've been in your shoes, and I'm not a native speaker of English. And by native, I mean I wasn't born into this language. I wasn't born in an English-speaking country, and nor have I been to one. My parents don't speak a word of English. So I actually had to learn it rigorously from the age of 17. How I happened to learn English in depth, I believe deserves a separate video, which I will be posting later on. But today we'll be focusing on how to reach a native-like level of English fluency. You are here because you want to know what's that one recipe or formula to reaching that native-like level of fluency. And I can tell you straight away that there is no one way to do that. And the method that I'm going to share with you has to do with active listening, repeating, and shadowing. Sounding like a native is not for everyone. Some people are perfectly fine with the way they sound, and I totally get it. You know, it spices things up a little bit as far as I'm concerned.
Goodbye, Brenda Bunsen. Goodbye, Teresa Del Taco.
So long, Bagel.
Traveling with you was tolerable.
Oh, you're so sweet.
However, mimicking authentic English speech comes with a lot of benefits. One of them is fluency, and another one is being able to express those subtle emotions when conversing with a native speaker. So there are no gaps in understanding when you want to, convey your message or when you want to express your emotional state. More good news is that you most probably have all the tools required to start using it today.
Really?
We are surrounded and bombarded by a lot of input on an hourly basis, be it watching, listening, reading, TV, the internet, social media, even music. But somehow we don't really make use of these readily available input to start perfecting our English language competency. It perfectly correlates with the fact that most IELTS and TOEFL candidates, they score high on listening and reading. However, they score low on writing and speaking. Too much of input makes people more passive. I don't discount the benefits of input, but it's just that we have to do our part and start working on the output, which is speaking, articulating, and expressing your emotions.
But I'll go as far as I can.
Start by choosing your favorite sitcom, an animated movie, a podcast, an interview, music, anything that has genuine, natural English as a medium, and listen to them with subtitles or write down the script. And when I say listen, I mean you have to block everything out. Right? Nothing should interrupt your momentum and flow. And when it comes to repetition, I don't want you to robotically reproduce the speech or the sentences. I want you to become the character in a movie or an animated movie and really immerse yourself in that setting. And if you really like the character you've chosen, then this shouldn't be a problem. What worked for me was music. Back in my teens, I was a fan of Metallica, and for many years I would listen to them. I knew all the lyrics of each song. I would immerse myself in that rhythm and, sing those songs with the same level of energy and free spirit kind of feeling. Now, I'm not saying that music is what will work for you, For you, it might be an artificially created character in a story, or a real person in an interview. Be aware that the authentic natural English will not sound the way you were taught at school or any other language learning environment. Be ready to face a whole world of modified pronunciations. Native speakers, when they speak in a natural way, they tend to make a lot of contractions, which is necessary for the speech to sound natural, right? They tend to run words together. And they speak in a very fast pace that you're not used to, and a whole bunch of other things. I feel that this pronunciation tutorial deserves a separate video, which I will hopefully upload. So why is it so significant to correspond emotionally to that specific character? Well, because we are emotional human beings and we have emotional brains, and those events that are full of happiness, they register in our brains more easily and can be stored as long as life itself. You are more tuned, you're more focused, and your brain is at its full capacity when you are in that emotionally charged state or in an uplifting mode. Another thing that plays into all this is the repetition factor. You are well familiar with the concept of repetition and how it strengthens the neural pathways in our brains. So the more we engage in an activity, the stronger those links become. And it reaches a point where we don't really have to exert mentally or physically to perform a task. It comes naturally. It's automatic that you don't really have to make a lot of effort. Let's recap, right? So shadowing is when you repeat those phrases or sentences of a particular character in a movie or what have you, but you do that with the same level of emotional state. Most importantly, you have to stay positive, because positivity will account for 95% of your whole endeavor, guys. Now let's delve into these 3 specific steps and look at them in practice.
I can already hear the crowds in Madrid chanting your name.
I can already hear the crowds in Madrid chanting your name.
I can already hear the crowds in Madrid chanting your name.
I can already hear the crowds in Madrid chanting your name. I can already hear the crowds in Madrid chanting your name. I can already hear the crowds in Madrid chanting your name.
Why does not wanting to fight mean I'm scared?
Why does not wanting to fight mean I'm scared? Why does not wanting to fight mean I'm scared? Why does not wanting to fight mean I'm scared? Why does not wanting to fight mean I'm scared? You gotta get your horns in the game, man. You gotta get your horns in the game, man. You gotta get your horns in the game, man.
Something. I'm just trying to feel my way through.
Just trying to feel my way through. I'm just trying to feel my way through. I'm just trying to feel my way through.
Really funny. Now, like he picks up a book and he immediately wonders, who's going to be the last person to read this?
He picks up a book and immediately wonders, who's going to be the last person to read this? He picks up a book and immediately wonders, who's going to be the last person to read this? He picks up a book and immediately wonders, who's going to be the last person to read this?
No, it's going to be funny. Really funny. No, like
he picks up a book and he immediately wonders, who's going to be the last person to read this?
Joe, we would have asked you. We just thought you wouldn't be interested.
Joey, we would have asked you. We just thought you wouldn't be interested. Joey, we would have asked you. We just thought you wouldn't be interested. Joey, we would have asked you. We just thought you wouldn't be interested.
Oh, come on. She's going to love you guys.
Oh, thank you, but we're really trying not to get our hopes up.
I love you guys.
Oh, thank you, but we're really trying not to get our hopes up.
Oh, thank you, but we're really trying not to get our hopes up.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, but we're really trying not to get our hopes up.
And why don't you stop worrying about sounding smart and just be yourself?
Hey, why don't you stop worrying about sounding smart and just be yourself? Hey, why don't you stop worrying about sounding smart and just be yourself?
That would be great. I mean, I have to do something. She kind of teased me about how I dress.
That would be great. I mean, I have to do something. She kind of teased me about how I dress. That would be great. I mean, I really have to do something. She kind of teased me about how I dress. That would be great. I mean, I really have to do something. She kind of teased me about how I dress. Really? That would be great. I mean, I have to do something. She kind of teased me about how I dress.
Well, I'm sure there have been amazing technological advances in the industry, but surely you must have some sort of training program.
Well, I'm sure there have been amazing technological advances in the industry, but surely you must have some sort of training program. Well, I'm sure there have been amazing technological advances in the industry, but surely you must have some sort of training program. Well, I'm sure there have been amazing technological advances in the industry, but surely you must have some sort of training program.
And there's this electricity in the air. You can almost hear it, right? And this bag was just dancing with me. Like a little kid begging me to play with it. For 15 minutes. That's the day I realized that there was this entire life behind things. And this incredibly benevolent force that wanted me to know that there was no reason to be afraid.
If you like this video and the content that I create, you can let YouTube algorithm know that this is useful and worth sharing by hitting that like button and subscribing if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next video.